Pubg Esports fans, I'm your Pubg Esports guide, Annie, and we're here with Paper Thin.
What's up, guys? Good to be back.
It's been a long time since we've done it on PGC 2021, and today we're going to talk about the Pcs6 Americas and APAC participating teams first. First to go is, as always, APAC region. Let's start with Vietnam teams.
The first that comes to mind is Cerberus because they won their region. They've won their region quite often, but when they've moved on to larger stage play, it has been a little bit of a struggle for them.
So it's very obvious that Pubg Esports is doing very well in their region. They have won 4 PVS champion out of 9, and Haisaki won the most MVP titles in PVS. And also in most recent PVS, they won triple the prize money compared to second place. So I would like to see them perform like this in the global level, this time in Pcs6 Apac. I'd also like to talk about BN United. We're familiar with the team because they have performed in PGC 2021, even though they struggled. But this team has changed their roster this time in 2022.
Oh yeah, these guys are really, really good. Of course, I mean, Sapao made a name for himself and Vietnam at PNC 2019. Still a very, very good player. Cloris has, won 2 MVPs in the PVS, so he is obviously a very strong player in a very strong region. I think this is a team that I fully expect to be very prepared for this event and a contender for this event.
I also see the new coming team from Vietnam, Luxurious Esports.
Some of these names definitely stand out to me. NBK is definitely one that comes to mind because he won the Charity Showdown, participated in PGIS, a very strong player. Smell, who used to be on Cerberus in 2020 when they won the PVS. So a lot of really, really good players on this squad. So another team I'm really excited for is, of course, Unicorn Phoenix. They are absolutely insane. I mean, as we know from PCS5, they won the insane squad for APAC. So these guys are nuts. There's so much fragging potential on them.
The team that had picked up the last ticket in Vietnam was the Expendables, and this team is consisted of the veteran players from the old Divine team.
Leviz is coming on as the IGL, maybe the most storied player in Vietnam Pubg Esports history. And Nam Si as well, another guy who's been around, who's played on so many good teams for Vietnam on various different big stages. This is definitely a team you have to keep your eye on.
Now let's take a look at Thailand teams. There's 5 Thailand teams, and 3 teams have advanced from PUBG Thailand Series and 2 teams from PUBG Thailand Open. So Attack All Around finally won their championship in PTS.
It's pretty surprising that they had never actually won their region before, just qualifying for basically everything in terms of global competition. So, of course, this squad, you guys know them very well. Gems, Jayers, Glooms, Venatica, these guys, great. And then, of course, Daytrade as well, right behind them in second place. These two are always qualifying for everything. They've been really consistent the last couple years. So let's see if one of them can really break through and have a big performance at PCS6.
Yeah, and to add on for the Daytrade Gaming, Norins won the MVP for Pubg Thailand Series. He have recorded 1.7 kills and 330 damages per match in 60 matches.
Those are incredible numbers, no doubt about it.
And also I have to talk about this team made in Thailand, who's one of the oldest team in Thailand, back again in PCS.
Yeah, this team has been around since I can remember in Pubg Esports. I casted them back in the Africa TV PUBG League back in 2018. So, I mean, a lot of really good players on here, Tanawat, Escaliza, Jacob, known names in their region. But now we have substituted Duckmans with a new player, Rogue Nanzi Mai. He's a very exciting up-and-coming player who seems to be doing big things for Myth.
And there's 2 more teams who have advanced from the Pubg Thailand Open 2022 Phase 1. And first one is Theerathon Five. This team is owned by the Thailand famous footballer called Theerathon Boomathon. And this team have won the Pubg Thailand Open with huge point gap. They haven't played in Pubg Thailand Series, but they've won the Pubg Thailand Championship, which is a lower league. So we have to see how they could perform when they compete with other Thailand teams.
Yeah, this is an interesting team because you still have Rossida Jr. on this squad. He is another long-time Pubg Esports player, and he's got 3 new young and up-and-coming players with him, and they seem to be doing really, really good. The other team that qualified out of the PTO was Magic Esports. Magic has been in and out of the PCSs, so this is a team that, frankly, you're not going to have huge expectations for, but you never know in APAC.
The rest of Southeast Asia teams have competed in recent PUBG Challenger Rumble, and 2 Indonesian teams and 2 Philippine teams have advanced to the PCS6.
There's some teams we know, like Archangel Predator, for example. They should be favorites potentially to even win PCS6. Obviously PGC was disappointing for them, but last year they looked really, really good at the end of the year in general. Another team that you got to be watching out for is Team Extraordinaire. A really surprising team that are improving their overall play to fit the super point rule as well. So the other 2 teams coming out of here, Alter Ego, a lot of you guys are going to know their names, long-time, very talented players from Indonesia. And then of course NRX, a really interesting team coming out of the Philippines. Their results were mixed. There were no chicken dinners for them coming into this. So this is a team that needs to find the ability to get wins if they want to compete at PCS6.
The last 2 teams coming into PCS6 are from Oceania region. The Fury, which is known to be the strongest team in Oceania, had the roster split apart, and some of them moved to the North American scene, but inside the team leader has remained in this region and moved to Team Bliss, which won the OC qualifier. Yeah,
so Team Bliss has been around for a while now. They were oftentimes second place to Fury last year. So Insight, the great IGL for Fury and other teams, has really found his groove with these guys. They look really good. And then also you have Senjo, which is an interesting team, kind of the new up-and-comers, but they also have some veterans on there like Linksy. This is a guy who's bounced around between regions and now has found himself a home here and is back in PCS6.
So now it's time for Americas. Same as last year, 12 teams have advanced from the PCS6 regional playoff, and the last 4 tickets was decided by the last chance qualifiers. Let's look through the Latin American teams first. So Akrashe won the regional playoff in Latin America.
Yeah, they've looked really good all of a sudden. I mean, to be frank, I was starting to worry a bit about this team. It just didn't look good, and now all of a sudden, they're great, and this is really exciting for them. I really hope that this team can show us a good performance. Yeah, so coming in second place in the region was 22 Esports. I think a name on that team that people are going to know is Hazatin. He's been around in the Pubg Esports scene for quite some time, so this Brazilian squad really looking good. Coming in next was Trogloditas, a team that I think has a lot of potential. Of course, you've got the Latin American legend Rusty Zera on there, as well as Necro AQN. So this is a team that is full of veteran experienced players. Then came AKM. This is a pretty interesting team in that there's one player that has really had any kind of experience in Pubg Esports. It's Ali RV. And then the rest of the team is relatively unknown. And then the same with the Yellow Jackets, a team of unknowns in their region who came through the open qualifiers to now qualify for PCS6 Americas.
The team that got the last ticket was Just Too Easy. Familiar name here, Ragnar.
Yeah, really excited, of course, to have him back. The personality that he brings is always a lot of fun to have.
And we have 10 North American teams here, 6 from the regional playoff and 4 from the last chance qualifier. Let's start with Yahoo, who won the regional playoff.
Yeah, I think Yahoo is definitely a team, of course, that you have to keep your eye on. I mean, Balefrost, Punaj, Shinboy, and of course Sparking, who has once again kind of risen to another level himself. He had the most kills during the qualifier. This team, certainly scary.
Yeah, I really like the team logo. The cute chicken. I wonder who drew it. And next is Bing Bang Boom. It's consisted of the old Space Station Gaming member.
I think this is a team full of a lot of really smart young players. Roth, Keenan as well, a former IGL Oldless, and then of course Sharpshot, a guy who at times has been arguably the best fragger in Americas. So really excited for these guys going forward.
And next coming up is Gaskins Guadalajara. Gaskins, always hard to pronounce it. This team has always performed well in the PCS Americas, and I heard that Waikakamukau has transferred to this team.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of my favorite players. His name is really, really fun to say, of course, but joining Waikakamukau on the gas cans, of course, Nikos, Greg Shot, and then their IGL Adam, who's also the brother of Coach Did, so from FaZe. So this is a really interesting team, a really smart team that has improved rapidly. You know, Waikakamukau said they struggled a little bit earlier. Now they look great.
And there's one more team that picked up the old Fury member, is E United, coming back to Pubg Esports scenes in a long time. They picked up the old Oath members along with Flood, who showed aggressive and impressive plays in PGC 2021.
Yeah, I think this goes to show you why Fury was doing so well at PGC. Very stacked roster with a lot of really good players. Oath as well had phenomenal results at the end of last year. I mean, they were constantly pushing the envelope at every event. So this is a team that you have to watch out for. They absolutely could pop off and win the event.
Yeah, I think if they have more time to play together, I think they can get much better.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of teams that have played together for a while, STK is also coming in here. Once again, the veterans, consistency. What else can you say about this team? They're amazing. They're just constantly getting it done, constantly placing top 5 at events. So, another team you can never ever count out. And the last team to come through the qualifiers was 300, a team that's been pretty consistent, pretty fun to watch. Neferhorn Extreme on this team, 2 really good players from Australia. It's been a very consistent, very solid team for the last year.
So in North America, there was the surprising news that Sonic, aka PGI's champion, did not qualify in the regional playoff, but managed to get that last ticket in the last chance qualifier. What happened to Sonics?
Well, I mean, look, every team sometimes has, bad days, bad weeks, whatever. The Sonics, it has been a little bit rough and tumble for them since their PGIS win. Just doesn't seem like they're quite gelling again yet. They're quite on the same page. I mean, the rule format change again. A lot of these things could be coming into play, but certainly the Sonics are a force to be reckoned with.
I found out that Dressel is a sub-member of Sonics. What do you think about that?
Well, Dressel just can't stay out of Pubg Esports. I mean, how could you not, right?
So maybe we can expect him playing in Pcs6 Americas?
Maybe. I mean, I'd always like to see Dressel play. He's a great bolter. I'm a big fan, but the Sonics have a really stacked roster. Moving on, there is also Dodge again. They're a really, really good team. Cherry, he's always been a competitor in the Americas region, a very strong one. Then up Nootropic, a pretty interesting team here with Hello Senpai and some others putting together one Lata as well from the former 300 squad. And last but not least, the Rumblers. I mean, they're a fun team to watch. They're great dudes. Los, Waldo, Valiate, and Corsac this time coming in. I'm really excited for this team as always. They're going to be fun no matter what.
So today we were able to break down the 32 teams from 2 regions first in details because we divided into 2-2. So I hope the fans could also enjoy the full month of PCS6.
Yeah, I really like this format a lot. Now you can kind of focus on a couple regions at a time, and then, eventually you'll get to see Asia and Europe. You just got to be a little bit more patient.
Yeah, Pick'em Challenge is also back for PCS6. This time, due to the changed format, PCS6 Americas and APAC Pick'em Challenge opened first in April 6th. So don't miss out the Pick'em Challenge. Support your team by purchasing the PCS6 exclusive items. And again, here's our pick. Pcs6 Apac and Americas are kicking off in April 15th with 32 amazing teams performing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really, really excited for, of course, our teams that we've seen all the time, but we've got a lot of new players, a lot of young talent up and coming, so you guys definitely want to check this out.
So don't miss out the PCS6 Apac and Americas, and we'll be back with the information about PCS6, Europe and Asia after the qualifier is over, so don't miss that episode 2. We'll be back soon. And don't forget to like and subscribe.